Give me the food. Yeah, no, they did a good job with this one. It's kind of surprising. That is a spicy meatball. It's okay.
Could have been better.
Yeah, they tried. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be trying different ready-to-eat Trader Joe's fall foods. The first item we're trying is an Almond Chipotle Dip. It's smoky and spicy, plant-based dip and spread. Let's give this a try.
Heck yeah. It's got like a nice like back-end spice and smokiness. It's got a good like creamy texture too. Like it's very dippable.
I'd say it's got that nice smoky characteristic. So they did a really good job of making this a vegan dip. I don't really taste any nut flavor in there at all from the almonds. So I'd say this would dip pretty well with like if you want different types of chips or vegetables or like any of the meats or anything like that. I would say Trader Joe's did a pretty good job on this dip.
I think this would be a perfect like game day dip to bring to like a sporting event, like, you know, something as big as a Super Bowl or just a normal Sunday afternoon football game. And I think this also, I think one of the things that we could also try it with would be like a pita, like dipping that kind of stuff into it would be pretty good.
The next item we're trying is Trader Joe's roasted hatch chili and jalapeno cheese dip.
So the instructions for this was just to put it in the oven, bake it for like 15 minutes and then kind of let it rest so it's not like boiling hot. The only thing I will say about this and the packaging of like the other ones we'll show you in a second was the plastic didn't really like to come off very easily. So if you're gonna microwave it, which is the alternative way, just be forewarned the plastic can be kind of a pain in the butt. Otherwise, we'll see how the flavors.
Oh, let's try. Yeah, it's got some jalapenos and some cheese on the top. It doesn't stick as well as the other dip that we tried. It's really good, but it is definitely spicier than the other dip that we tried because this one's got jalapenos in there, and if you get one of those, it is real spicy.
Yeah, this one's like, seems like it's nothing at first, and then it's like the spice kicks up real high, whereas the last Chipotle dip we had, it was more of like a lingering heat that was like a notch or two below this. The rest of the flavor is actually pretty good. I mean, it's exactly what it sounds like. It's like a cheesy dip with some heat from the jalapenos. I mean, this is really good. I think the way we cooked it in this thing, you could definitely serve it with some chips or like pita chips, something like that would be pretty good.
Yeah, no, I think this is a really good job of nice balance of flavors in here. It is on the spicier side, so if you don't like heat, this one might not be for you. But if you do like heat, this would be a good one.
Yeah, it's cheesy, spicy, pretty tasty.
I would say this is a really good dip, and I would buy this again. Like, it's not too hard to make. You just heat it up, and it's good to go, and it's got really good flavor, so you don't get bored of it.
Yeah, I really like putting it in this kind of like ramekin dish, so that it can be heated, and then it kind of holds the heat a little bit better than like the plastic container that it came in. Again, this would be a good dip to bring out for game day, like because you're on the fall time, so.
All right, the next item we're trying is a Butternut Squash and Caramelized Onion Tart.
Flaky crusts are on the outside with the exposed kind of center in the middle, which you can kind of see like right in here. So yeah, just give it a try.
That's really good.
Those two flavors like really play well together, the caramelized onion and the butternut squash. They kind of blend together. It's kind of like savory, sweet mixed together. And the flaky pastry kind of holds it all together to kind of like lift it up and make that crunch, kind of giving more texture to it.
Yeah, I'd say this is like more of a really nice rich tart because it's like, it's got the nice flaky crust in there, but then what they've added of the caramelized onion and the butternut squash, it's really rich together and the flavors play so good together, and it did a really good job for this. Yeah, I would definitely get this again. It is really good.
It also just feels like fall in a tart form, so it feels really seasonal.
Yeah, they did a really good job of seasoning it. So you can taste some of the herbs and spices that they used in it. So it's not just bland, you know, butternut squash and onion. And it has like, I feel like some rosemary in there.
Oh yeah.
And some other kind of fall herbs. Overall, really good, great texture, great flavor, seasoned really well. And you just have to warm it up and it's good to go.
Yeah, you can cook it in the oven on like a pan. I think you can microwave it. I definitely would recommend cooking in the oven to get the actual like puff pastry or more flaky and dry it out. But it also is small enough to fit in a toaster oven if you have one of those instead. So both of those are good options.
Okay, the next item we're trying is Trader Joe's Autumn Vegetable and White Bean Gratin. It's roasted cauliflower, butternut squash, and butter beans in a white cheddar cheese sauce. Let's try this. It's got like a nice layer of cheese on the top.
Looks pretty like crunchy too. I'll be honest, I'm a little underwhelmed. It's a little bit on the bland side.
It needs more seasoning.
Especially compared to like the two spicy ones we just had. The Tart was really good flavoring, and then the other two, the dip and the
two dips.
The two dips were both really good, like flavored and seasoned. This one is just like a kind of a crunchy top with some vegetables, but it's like they forgot to put the seasoning in the mix. I honestly think it's just like they were mixing everything in to make this, and they just forgot like the dash of seasoning. It's not even like, for example, like it could be like, if it was too salty, that would be a thing, but it's definitely undersalted is how I would taste it. It kind of reminds me of the other stuff we had in the frozen section. A couple of those mac and cheeses that were just like, just cheese, no seasoning, no anything else, and the cheese is kind of mild.
It's very similar to the frozen butternut squash lasagna.
Yeah.
As that one, it was really good, like texture-wise, but it was just really missing that flavor component from the herbs and the spices, and so this is also suffering that too.
Yeah.
Also, choosing butter beans is not the most flavorful of beans that they could have picked, so it's like, again, you're just losing out on some of that flavor component. This one's okay. I, probably wouldn't get this one again. Okay, the next one we're trying is Trader Joe's vegan enchilada casserole. It's got a red chili sauce seasoned with pinto beans and roasted vegetables, layered between corn tortillas and topped with the mozzarella and cheese style shreds. I mean, the red sauce is pretty good, but you need more of it.
Yeah, it's pretty mild too. It's not like, it's like missing the heat from the other things that we already had too. And it kind of just like the way it's put together kind of just feels like mush. Because it's like everything is like layered to make that enchilada stuff, but nothing's crispy. Even the top isn't really crispy from being in the oven. And baking at the same time is the last thing we just tried.
So this was in the oven, so it's like you would expect to get kind of like nice and crispy on the top to have some kind of texture differences. But yeah, this is pretty kind of consistent on texture. It feels like it could go for having some hot sauce onto it. So if you bought this and want to kick up the heat and the flavor, like a really good like sriracha or, Tabasco sauce or something on this could really elevate it. There's just not enough of the red sauce on here.
I mean, the hot sauce that we like from Trader Joe's is that yuzu hot sauce. So that one would probably be pretty good if you're looking for something that is from Trader Joe's to go along with this.
Yeah, it's missing again. Like it has more flavor than the other stuff that we tried, like the Grotten, but it needs more of it. So if they just added like another scoop or so of the red sauce to it, I think this would be much better and somehow get some more like crunchiness to it. If you're looking for something that's quick and easy, it's like, I'm not mad at it. It's just, there's better options, unfortunately.
Yeah, and I think we bake this, and if you microwave this, it would even be less like texture. It'd be more mushy. That'd be my only concern.
I mean, it is nice that it is a grab and go vegan option. So if you are looking for something that's vegan, this could work for you. Just maybe bring your own hot sauce for it.
Yeah, absolutely. Being vegan is not the problem with this. It's the lack of spices.
Yeah, it needs more spice. The next item we're trying is Trader Joe's Pumpkin Butternut Squash Bisque, a delicate puree finished with brown butter and sage. It's got like a nice, kind of more like a bisque level of thickness.
Yeah, it's not bad. Definitely can taste the sage.
It's very much more of like a lighter soup. It's not too thick or heavy as some of the other soups can be with like more like cream base.
This kind of gives me like lobster bisque vibes. Like that consistency, that kind of buttery richness from it. And then instead of being lobster at the end, it's a little bit of the sage herbs that go with it. And this is super easy to heat up because it's just a soup. I just put it on the stovetop for like 2 minutes until it was warm. And it was ready to go.
Yeah, I would say definitely it's the lobster bisque taste, but without the lobster, but with butternut squash instead.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, I would say this is a pretty good, like nice fall soup. It's not too rich, so you don't feel like it's too heavy or anything like that. But yeah, I would say it's pretty good.
Yeah, and pairing this with some kind of sandwich, like a grilled cheese or something similar would be very good too.
Yeah, or get some like croutons or something to add on top of this. Yeah, I would say this is a pretty good one. It's seasoned pretty well. You can taste the different flavors. It's more like a summer soup, but with like fall flavors.
Yeah, the richness really comes from like the vegetables instead of being just like cream or fat or whatever. That's kind of what it tastes like to me. I think for me, my favorite thing we tried was the first thing we actually tried was the almond-based Chipotle dip. I really enjoyed the flavor. The heat was nice. Again, you couldn't really taste the almond. It goes good with pretty much anything you're going to dip in it, vegetable or bread or pita or whatever.
I would say my favorite was the butternut squash with caramelized onion tart. That one, it had a really good seasoning to it, so you could like really taste the herbs and all the flavors mingled well, but it also had really good different textures in it. So you had like the creaminess from the butternut squash, but then you had that flaky pastry for the tart. So that one was really good.
I think my most surprising would probably be following what you just said. That was what I really liked. And I thought the jalapeno cheesy dip that we had, the second item, was really good. I mean, it's got all the naughty things in it to be a good dip. You know, cream cheese and a bunch of other cheese and jalapenos and sour cream, like all of those. But it was good. Like, it's as good as like a homemade equivalent. So I would totally, that was my most surprising item.
Yeah, I would say my most surprising was the almond chipotle dip. Because it was based with using almonds, you didn't get any of that nutty flavor in it. You just got the actual chipotle smoky spiciness flavor in it, which was really surprising because we've tried other products where they're based off of nuts and you can really taste the nut flavor in it and kind of ruins what you're eating. But this one was really good. You could not taste it at all. And so, yeah, I thought it was really good texture too. It stuck to whatever you were dipping it in. And it had really good flavor to it also.
Yeah, like some of the vegan cheeses we tried had that issue where like they tasted like cashews or almonds or whatever when we tried a bunch of vegan cheeses. So it's nice to have something that has the other flavors shine versus just tasting like a nut. I think the two items I would probably not buy was the vegetable gratin and the vegan enchilada. And not because that was vegan, just because both of them have the same issue that we've had with some of the other Trader Joe's items where they're under-seasoned. You know, if they were seasoned properly, I think everything else on around it was good enough, like the texture, and the cheese side of it, but they just needed some extra seasoning.
Yeah, I would say my one that I wouldn't purchase again was the Grotten. That one, it didn't really have a lot of flavors. The stuff that they picked for it, like having the butter beans, is just not the most flavorful. And so they really needed to step up the amount of seasoning they had in there, especially with herbs. And then for the vegan enchilada one, I think that one, it just needed a little bit more of the red chili sauce. So it's not a bad option if you're looking for a vegan ready-to-go meal. Maybe just bring some hot sauce or something like that and it could work. But again, they're both just a little bit under on the seasoning side. And so if they could step that up for Trader Joe's, it would make those ones much better.
So let us know what your favorite Trader Joe's ready-to-eat item is down in the comment section. Well, I hope you got something out of us trying some of these new fall seasonal ready-to-eat items. I think we found some new ones that we kind of like that we'll definitely probably get again, especially those dips. If you're new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe. If you want to see similar Trader Joe's videos like this one, click the one on the screen right now. We'll see you again soon. Bye.